So we're going to talk about pulling levers, the art of habit stacking. If you have a specific goal in mind, like let's say you want to wake up and go for a run daily. The night before, setting yourself up for success by putting out your clothing and running shoes, drinking a glass of water before bed, and then making sure that you drink water in the morning. Having specific things in place to make it easier for you to do that activity when there might be resistance due to being tired or any emotional state that might not align with doing that specific task. But Lorelei Hermosi makes a really great point, and I love Lorelei. She says, fuck your feelings, follow the plan. Follow the plan. And so James Cleary has this book, Atomic Habits. It's a good read. It's pretty repetitive, I would say. But it's good because it talks about this concept of habit stacking and how many days it takes technically to build a habit and how many days it takes to break one. And to break a habit is significantly less time than it is to build a habit. It makes sense to me. You're building pathways. You're building pathways in your brain. And when you're building new neural networks within your system, that takes a lot of energy. But it doesn't take as much energy for that energy to not go down those pathways that were just built. It's easier to go down the path that you've walked down for many moons. So let's say you're a chronic sweet eater. Let's say every night before you go to bed, you say, I want something sweet. Great way to eliminate this in your life. And this is, I'm sure you guys already know this, right? But there's a greater point that I really want to make in this. And it's the point of pulling the small levers so that you can pull the big levers. Getting the small levers in place. It could be like, for me personally, my partner and I, we've been getting this house in order. Getting our life in order. Getting real with where we're at. Getting real with where we want to go. And it's like, once you put these things in your foresight and you actually look at them, and they're not lurking in the shadows anymore. Like, a lot of y'all, including me, like I've let things just go in the shadows. I've been like, okay, I'm just gonna avoid that. I'm gonna go over here where I don't have to look at that. And I would just be overwhelmed. It'd be like a looming sense of overwhelm. And it was because I had all these things in my mind that just made me anxious because I didn't put them somewhere. I didn't know. It was hard for me to like relocate where I would put specific things. And this is something that I've struggled with in my life personally, is like information management is actually a skill that I'm still learning as an adult. It's something that I haven't necessarily figured out. Haven't figured it out great, and it messes up some communication aspects in my specific life. So that's like a lever for me. It's like having systems set up so I can know when I have appointments, know when I juggle many things in my personal life. I'm a multidimensional artist, multifaceted artist. I'm starting a new skill set. I'm starting another new skill set. And then here I am doing this, and then I have 2 other jobs. And it's like, oh my God. And then there's all the other things, right? So it could be hard to manage information. It could be hard to create the habits that sustain the type of character that I wish to build. But that's why removing things from the environment that will create resistance, removing things from the environment which will make it harder for you to say yes to the things you want, and easier to say no to the things that you don't. It matters. And so You know, I just encourage you today, one, you're seen. Like, the fact that you're existing as a person in this world is a miracle. And you have a purpose, like, way greater than just what you're doing. And I want to put that in there too, because I think we get burnt out so fast from having to feel like we have to be everything. But there's an important aspect to your well-being when you choose to show up in the way that you know you deserve to, when you choose to show up for your body, when you choose to show up for your mind, when you choose to show up for God and to say, God, do with me what you may. Show me the way forward today. Just to be open and willing to see the miracles that are for you, because there are miracles in every day, and I've seen many. And today alone, for example, and this is a sad but beautiful one, I just fixed one of my guitar strings yesterday, and I was playing, and I was trying to remember one of the songs that my guitar teacher taught me. Now, I hadn't been in guitar lessons in 2 years. And when I was trying to pick it up again, I was thinking about my guitar teacher and the things he would say to me. And he was so encouraging to me in my heart, you know, and I was just thinking about him. And so this morning, at work, someone came in, and I knew that they played guitar, and they knew that they took lessons. And I asked him, like, hey, like, how are guitar lessons going? Because the idea popped in my mind. I was like, I wonder, you know, because the thought of it came up yesterday, you know. And he shared who it was that he was a student of. I was like, yeah, I'm a student of, you know, Paul LaBelle. And he's like, oh, Paul just passed last week. And I immediately started tearing up. I was like, oh, like, it hit me. I was like, fuck. I was just thinking about Paul. I was thinking about going back to lessons with him, you know. And like, if I didn't, it was like I got that nudge to like play again and to play those songs and to think, and it was like I felt his presence in that, you know. And I'm grateful that like literally today I got shown that, like, I got told, like, hey, like, he passed away, like, a week ago. You know, and though it's sad, it's also really beautiful, and it's a reminder, again, that life goes on. But we remember the memories with people. You know, you would say to the stars with your kids, like, if you stick with it to the stars, you know. And it's just really special and beautiful to have someone speak into your life like that. And so, I say to you, to the stars, watch and see the miracles that await you. And pull the little levers, show up, and make the habits that you want to have easier to obtain. Because you deserve to have a good life, and you deserve to show up in the way that you know that you want to. Yeah.